اللهم عافني في بدني اللهم عافني في سمعي.
Allah said that give them a glad tidings that there is a punishment of Allah await them. I see these are the main thing. All of us, as I was saying, that we're working towards Akhirah. All of us work towards Akhirah. I see everything has do's and don'ts. When you buy the speakers, you will find a manual with it. And the manual will teach you how to operate the speakers. And the same manual will teach you that, oh, if you are doing this with the speakers is not going to last you for long. It's a very simple logic. So at the same time, Allah has given us a manual how to be, to be humble on this earth. At the same time, the Prophet ﷺ follow it by advising us all the time. Oh, this is how we should do. This is what we make a man should behave. This is what a woman should behave. All of us, we have our duties. And these are the paths that will take us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is all. We have a path, Allah tells us to follow. The path is salah. The path is zakat. And the path is to treat people as we want to be treated. One philosopher says that if you ever see anywhere there is a calamity, there is a conflict, and there's a rebellion, most of the time it is to do with people doing certain things to certain people, and the same people, when somebody do the same thing to them, they will be angry. That's what the Prophet ﷺ said, that al-Muslim, if you're going to be a Muslim, he said that مَا سَلِمَ الْمُسْلِمُونَ مِنْ يَدِهِ وَلِسَانِهِ. If you are a Muslim, you are somebody that your fellow Muslims are saved from your tongue. Your acid tongue, saying certain things about other people. Just see someone walking in and all the look that you're going to look at him or her. The Prophet ﷺ said that the tongue that you're going to use, make sure that you use it to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the best thing to do with your tongue. You use it to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said, مَا سَلِمَ الْمُسْلِمُونَ مِنْ يَدِهِ وَلِسَانِهِ. A Muslim is somebody whose tongue is safe. People are saved from his tongue, his acid tongue, and his hands. Look at it. You see, if you see anybody here, or me, or anybody here doing something, something, if you're going to say it, just go and say it exactly what you see. If you say it exactly what you see, maybe it may not be anything. Oh, I've seen Malam Samad holding a white paper and there was nothing written in the back. Oh, it's as simple as that. There's nothing. But something people do. When he's going to go and talk about you, he'll put salt and pepper in it. That's what he does. Because if he doesn't put the salt and pepper, it will not be, nice to swallow, to slice it. He will go and exaggerate and say, oh, he did that, he did that. And that is it. That is what it is said that, look, if you see somebody come and talking to you about somebody, how bad and, nasty the person is, Hajia Wani, I heard that Hajia, she's this, she's doing that. You know what you should ask the person? Ask the person. So, do you know any single good deed Hajia ever did? ever done. Mention it. You know what? He's not going to mention it. Because if he mentions it, you won't see anything. Because we're all human beings. That's all. All of us, we err. Nobody is perfect. Nobody. That is what the Prophet ﷺ said. That if you see people, somebody condemning people, you watch, he is the most condemned. The problem we have, that people often, when you're so busy seeing other people's faults, what happens is that you forget your own. You will not remember your own because you are so busy looking at other people. And the Prophet ﷺ summarized it very easily. He said that min husn al-Islam al-mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'ni. One of the best things of Islam, one of the best things in you being a Muslim, it is what? It's for you to leave that is not concerning. It does not concern you. Hajia has come in last week. She wore the same clothes, and this week she's wearing the same clothes. It doesn't concern you. It doesn't concern you. Even if she wears it the whole month, what does that got to do with you? It shouldn't be anything. Yeah. So because of that, it is something that we must be careful about. That is what the Prophet ﷺ said that Al-Muslim man salim al-Muslimun min yadihi wa lisanihi. And the ayah will go, we still will continue. He said that in الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات النعيم خالدين فيها وعد الله حقا وهو العزيز الحكيم. He said that verily إن الذين آمنوا, those who believe in Allah, Iman, this is where the word comes, Iman, that is the root word, and it comes to Amanu, those who believe. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات. You see, so many places in the Quran, in the Holy Quran, there is certain things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always observes. In al-lazina amanu, whenever you see it, verily those who believe, you see what behind it, what thing will say, وَأَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. It's not only that you believe, it is for you to do something, to do what? Amilu Salihat, for you to do good deeds. So the good deed, it is part of your Iman. The good deed is the zakat you give. The good deed is the salat you pray. You see? And the good deed is for you to work what? You work towards akhirah. That is what it is about. So, in other words, وَأَمِنُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ النَّعِيمِ. Those who believe and do good with لَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ النَّعِيمِ. Allah said that, they have a Jannah, the garden, and Na'im, a bliss. The garden that is the garden with ni'mah. May Allah put all of us in Jannah. May Allah put all of us in Jannah. So, and what is Jannah? And Allah is saying, خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا وَعَدَ اللَّهِ حَقًّا وَهُوَ الْحَكِيمُ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا. Everything that we have in this world, it has what? Has a beginning and it has an end. You name it. If it is a man, the wealthiest man on this earth, wallahi, it is not certain. The world can disappear at any time. Nothing is certain on this earth. So, what is certain? What is certain is we work towards akhirah. where it is Khalidina fiha, Allah said that when you enter Jannah, Khalidina fiha, you're going to be there forever. If you enter hellfire, you're going to be there forever. May Allah protect us from hellfire. So what Allah haqqan, and Allah is telling us what Allah haqqan. What Allah has promised you is haqqan, is the truth. It will come to pass. You see, so it is something that all of us must be aware and work towards. What was Aziz al-Hakim, and verily Allah is Aziz. He is Al-Aziz, Al-Hakim, and the wise. You see, so the ayah goes, خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ بِأَمَدٍ تَرَوْنَهَا. It is Allah who has created خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ بِغَيْرِ الْأَمَدِ. He has created the earth, the skies, بِغَيْرِ الْأَمَدِ. It has no, pillars. Here, the design of this building, there is something that is holding it. But Allah is reminding us that the vast, look at the skies. Look at how huge the skies is. And Allah is telling us, have you seen a pillar that is holding the sky? There's no pillars. There isn't any pillar that is holding the sky. It is Allah who has done that. So, خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ بِغَيْرِ أَمَدٍ تَرَوْنَهَا. And you yourself, you are seeing it. There is no pillars. وَأَلْقَى فِي الْأَرْضِ رَوَاسِيَ أَنْ تَمِيدَ بِكُمْ. And then in the earth too, He has put rawasi. Some people translate it as, the hills and other things to study the earth. And تَمِيدَ بِكُمْ وَبَشَ فِيهَا مِنْ كُلِّ دَابَةٍ. And then it's Allah who has put all different kind of animals, different kind of animals. من كل داب وأنزلنا من السماء ماء. And what? And He is the one who has أنزلنا من السماء ماء, and He has bring the rain. It's Allah who brings rain. فأنبتنا من كل زوج كريم. And it is us who brings every kind of pairs, male and female, even the trees, whatever we have, even the date that we eat. A lot of people don't know the date that we eat to break our fast. Do you know that date has male and female? Date. Ask anybody who has sit in where dates grows, at the Arab world and other places. It has male and female. There was a time, what they used to do is that, when the Prophet ﷺ first saw it, that we were told that when the male, the date grows, sometimes they will take something from the female and goes what? And then wrap it to the male. That is how they used to do it. And there's another way to do it. Remember, the bees that we see, the honey that we all love, honey, Allah has made it, everything Allah has made, there's a purpose. The bees, without bees, what is bee to us? To me and you, bee, they are so insignificant. All what we know that they produce honey, but they are far from that. Far away from only honey. Without the bees, because of certain animals, wallahi, our plant will not grow. Because it will go here and wrap itself and then take something there and go to another plant. It delivers the pollen or whatever you call it from this plant to other plants. This is how bees does. Pollination. It takes it from the male and gives it to the female. That is how they do it. Date we eat. That is how it does. Without that, if it's just the female date that stands there, it will never grow without the pollination. It's the same to do with the male. It's got to be cross-pollination, whatever you call it, cross-pollination, whatever you call it. It's been there long, and it has been described from in the whole world. Long. This is how things are grown. That is Allah. If you just want to end this earth, some of this pollination is going to cease. I have seen in China where they run out of bees to pollinate their crops. And they literally cutting some of the male and go to the other tree and rub it in there. I have seen it. Just to make it grow. Because without it, so when you look at it, and look at us, for us to produce, we need male and female. For us to produce, we need male and female. We don't need Peter and Paul. It's going to be only male and female. You see, this is how we do it. So you see, when you look at Allah's work, you realize that everything that He has planned, it's been planned. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we were there, خلق السماوات والأرض بغير عمد ترونها ما فأنبتنا فيها من كل زوج كريم هذا خلق الله. And you see, Allah has mentioned all that in the surah, and He said something. Allah said that هذا خلق الله. This is Allah's creation. And said فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه بل الظالمون في الضلال المبين. This is Allah's creation. And said فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه. Show me those that maybe you worship beside Allah, those that you say that they are Allah's, you worship them beside Allah. What did they create? What have they created? They have created nothing. In other words, you know something, do not take anything, any human being to be God. Whether that person is dead or that person is alive. You never take them as God. Why? Because all of us here, we have our beginning, and one day we're going to have our end, whether we like it or not. That is the nature of us. If you think that you're going to live forever, I will ask you, where is your great-great-grandfather? Well, that is no longer here. Nobody is going to remain. Kullu man alayha fan. That is what Allah said. Everything that is going to be on the back of this earth, what? One day is going to perish. At the same time, kullu nafsin, kullu nafsin za'iqatul maut. Every living thing will test this. It is a fact. So because of that, we must remember a very simple thing. The rule is that when we're going to worship, do what? Worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, there was a story of a man he wanted to go, and he needed something. And he said, let me go, and they have an idol somewhere they worship. So he said to himself, oh, let me go and sacrifice something and pray with the idol. It was in a village, the idol is there. So it's an outskirts of the village. So he took a chicken, a very nice chicken, and took it to the idol. So he went there and he wanted to slaughter the chicken. Then he realized that he had forgotten the knife he wanted to slaughter the chicken. Can you imagine? He went there and he forgot the knife. So he said to himself, oh, let me go back, let me put the chicken near the idol, and I'll go back home and bring the knife. He went back home and bring the knife. As soon as he is approaching the idol, he saw a fox took the chicken and ran away. Fox taking the chicken and ran away. And the fox didn't even finish the humiliation. You know what the fox did? You know, even the fox took the chicken and then wheel on the idol. And then, you see, anybody who have a dog, you tell whenever they go through, as soon as they see something, they will do that and wheel a bit and mark their territory and move on. The fox has stolen a chicken, a healthy chicken from his lord, and then final humiliation, he wheel on the idol and then left. You see, this is how Allah gives you guidance. And he took it, he stopped a bit, and he think. And he said to himself, الرب يقول الشعلبان برأسه لقد زل من بالت عليه شعار. What God is that? A fox can wheel on his head. Any God that a fox can wheel on his head is not my God. It's a simple knowledge. It's a simple, you see, this is an inspiration. Allah has said, everything has an end. A fox, I told you, I'm coming to sacrifice a healthy chicken for you, and I've left the chicken there, and you couldn't protect the chicken, and you made the fox stole the chicken, and even we on you? No way. So, and he told us, فَلَوْ كَانَ رَبٌّ كَانَ يَحْفِظُ نَفْسَهُ فَلَا خَيْرَ فِي رَبٍّ نَأَتْهُ مَكَانًا. And he said that if this stone, this idol that I'm worshiping, if it was really God, it would be able to protect the chicken and protect his head from the fox wheel. It would be able to protect itself, and protect, he didn't protect my chicken, and even his own head, he could not protect it. You see, this is the thing. So he goes in but بريت من الأصنام في أرض كلها ولا وصت بالرب الذي هو غالب. Then he said, from now on, بريت من الأصنام في الأرض كلها. From now on, I'm never going to worship any idol. ولا وصت بالرب الذي هو غالب. From now, I'm going to worship a Lord that is Al-Ghali, is the one who overwhelmed anything. You see, this is an inspiration. This is what, the learning of Islam call it Wahyul Ilham. Wahyul Ilham is sometimes you are somewhere. You are even, say for example, maybe you are in danger, and you try to see what we're going to do. And, remember something, Allah will not come out physically and talk to you. What Allah does is that He put the idea in your head. And you implement the idea and you are safe. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you look at it, you realize that, you see, the way that Allah has said to do it. The verse has said at the beginning, الَّذِينَ يُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةِ. Those who are those who are يُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةِ, those who establish worship, وَيُؤْتُونَ الزَّكَاةَ, and those who give to charity. And I reminded you earlier, I said that the Prophet ﷺ said that you must give charity. He said, وَلَّوْ بِشِكِّ تَمْرٍ, even if it is dead for half of a day. I'll give time is going. I'll give you another place for it. It is from a book called GMUUK Ramadan. GMUUK Ramadan simply means waking up those who forget. Remind them. You see, it was to do with a village. They were told that Musa alayhi salam he came to the village, Isa alayhi salam. When he came to the village, the village has a complaint. And what was his complaint? You see, that will teach us that giving to charity, well, that is a very, very important thing. You know, you get the reward from Allah, and what you get next? And you get the protection from Allah. The villagers complain. We have a man here, he's a very huge man. He's taller than all of us here. And nobody can beat him. If anything happens, sometimes even our clothes, we hang it to dry and he will just tear it, and we don't know what to do with him. Why nobody can fight? And I believe there are people like, there were people like that. There were people like that. You know, recently, if you look, there's a man of 23 or 22 I saw in Kenya. That man, if you put me and Mother Ali together, he's taller than us. I'm there, it's not a fake, it's real. There are people like that existed. During what time was it? There was a man there, we were told that he was the one that, Nuh wanted him to bring some, wood for him to make the safina, to make the boat. And the man, we were told that when he comes to a village, he was so huge that he will eat the food of all the village. He has never satisfied. If he still finds your food, if you invite him, he will eat. If you don't invite him, he will eat. For him, food, like hyenas. For hyenas, if the lion invites him, if the lion doesn't eat, something like that. I see, we are told that when Noah alayhi salam wanted him to help him to go and bring some, wood for him to make the boat, Noah asked him, and he told Noah, look, if you give me a food to eat that can satisfy me, I'll go and bring you the wood. That he was so huge and he was so strong. And Noah alayhi salam will not, the whole village food, the man has consumed it. What about, me? I don't even have that kind of food to give him. You know what Noah alayhi salam did? He cut a bread and gave the bread to him, a very small bread, and said to him, before you eat it, say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And he hold it and say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. When he started to eat it, he couldn't even finish the whole thing, and he was full up. That is that. So, what is happening to the villagers, the story I was telling you, what happened to the village was that the man was somebody, when he entered the village, all he do is that there are people like that, because he knew he was so strong, nobody can, be able to fight him. And when Isa alayhi salam was told about it, and said, oh, I will deal with it. And he prayed. And the man, when he prayed, the man went out, and the villagers said, oh yes, while Isa is here and praying, the man will not come back. To their surprise, they were there when the man came back alive. And they